I'm making this hand plane from a bunch of scrap boards. Now a great option here is to use a 4x4 or probably 12 quarter hardwood would really do the trick. But because I only had a bunch of smaller scrap boards on hand, I just glued these together with whatever seemed like the right size for the blade I was using. And of course, the blade I'm using, I'll have a link in the description for that. As for the wood species I'm using, I believe this is mahogany, but either way, it did end up pretty lightweight, a little too light for my liking. What's better is if you have a really dense, heavy hardwood, because you have that extra mass to help move the plane. Next, I'm creating a drill guide out of a scrap 2x4, and this is just to help drill in the blade slot in the plane. Now, in the end, I actually lowered the angle of the blade, and I realized it's really not too difficult just to eyeball the angle. So this really isn't necessary, but it does give you a good starting point, if anything. Next, I have to add extra space on the top just as a chip slot to help shavings clear. Next, I need a wedge to hold the blade in place, and I'm just using the same scrap. During my first test run, I noticed a couple problems, but one of them was that I need to expand the chip slot because it was getting clogged. Now I need some handles. I was actually thinking originally about a front and back handle, but in the end, I only ended with the front knob, which I'm making right here. I'm cutting some scrap board into a bunch of smaller parts, gluing them together, and then I'm going to turn this on the lathe. With the handle in place, I took this for another test run, and this is where I realized I wanted a lower angle for the blade because it seemed like it was kind of stuttering as I went along, which part of it could be not quite sharp enough, but I thought a lower angle would make this operate far more smoothly as well.